Hello, I'm Evangelist Patricia with Pure Heart Ministries, and this is Evenings with Evangelist. Haven't been here in a while, but I'm back. So tonight, again, as we always talk about domestic violence, I just wanted to talk about a few things that you do and don't do when it comes to speaking with someone who is encountering domestic violence at the time, or if you think your friend or somebody you may know is going through it. I just want to give you a couple of things that you want to make sure you do say, but I want to give you some things that you make sure you don't say or do, okay? And this should be very helpful to you that you can share with someone. So the first thing you want to do if you have a friend that you know is going through domestic violence, you do want to validate what she is saying, she or he, because men go through domestic violence as well. You want to validate what they are saying, and you want to listen to them actively. Actively listen. That means listen without interruption, listen without explanation. Okay? You want to do that. You want to validate and listen. One thing that you don't want to do is don't tell them what you would do. If I was in this situation, I would leave him. I would leave her. If I was in this situation, I would do this or do that. That's something that you do not want to do, because that can cause more harm for the person that's going through the abuse. You may not think about it, and you may not even see it that way. You may just see it as you're trying to be helpful, but at the same time, it can hurt somebody even more, okay? So do validate and listen. Don't tell them what you would do. Something that you do want to say is, do tell them your safety is important to me. If I'm your friend and I know that you're going through abuse, I'm going to tell you that your safety is important to me. So over anything, I want to make sure that you're safe, okay? That's something that you can say to a victim of domestic violence. You want to make sure their safety is okay. Don't ask them questions about it or things like that. Just let them know you're there for them by telling them your safety is what's most important. Don't ask questions on how it happened or what's going on or things of that nature. Just let them know you're there for them. Sometimes that's the best help you can give to somebody, is just letting them know you're there for them. If they need you, they will come to you. And sometimes they may not, but that's okay too. But as long as they know and they're aware that you're there, that's what matters. Something that you don't want to do is don't judge or blame somebody because they're going through domestic violence. First of all, domestic violence is never the victim's fault. Never, ever. Doesn't matter the reason, what happened, what you didn't do, what you said, you weren't where you're supposed to be. It's never the victim's fault. So you don't want to ever judge them or blame them for being abused. If you do that, you're abusing them again. Okay? So don't judge them and don't blame them for what they're going through. It's hard enough as it is. Again, just be there for them. Be supportive. Okay? Something you do want to do is do support their decisions. A lot of times when we know somebody that's going through domestic violence and they say, well, I love him so much, I'm going to stay with him. That's not our choice. It's their decision, and we must respect that, even if we know it's not good for them. We must respect that. So support your friend as she tells you she's going to stay with her abuser, maybe because of the kids, maybe because of the finances. We don't know. Sometimes you don't know why they're staying. Maybe she has nowhere to go. We don't know that all the time. People might say, well, just leave him. It's not that simple. You can't just leave a bad situation with no plan, with nowhere to go. But at the end of the day, support your friend in their decision. Whatever decision they decide to make, support them and be there for them. When they need you, they're going to come to you because you have supported them thus far. Okay? Next, don't give personal advice. Don't give personal advice. When you're speaking to someone who's a victim, if you're on a hotline, if you're counseling someone, never give them personal advice, because what may work for me may not work for them. So you have to keep that to yourself. You can think it in your mind, but don't let it come out of your mouth, because sometimes when we think we know what's best for somebody, usually it's not. Usually it's not. If I suggest to this victim she should run away and hide in the hotel, now her abuser is going to go to the hotel, find her, maybe shoot up her and some other people that's in the hotel. So we don't ever want to give personal advice on what a person should do if they're in a domestic violence situation. Okay? Don't ever give them personal advice. Something we can do is offer them help. Do offer them help. That's something that we can do. If you are dealing with someone or know of someone that is in a domestic violence situation, do offer them help. Most of the times they're not going to take the help, but offer it. Offer it. That's the important thing you should do. It's just like if you're riding in somebody's car and you never offer gas money. You should, because the car doesn't run on air. But even if you offer it and they turn it down, you were respectable enough to make the offer, and that's what counts. That's what's important. So offer your friend help. If they take it, great. If they don't, maybe they're not ready to take it yet. Sometimes people need time to take help, get help, maybe call somebody or figure out what they need to do. How am I going to get out of this? Maybe they're not ready to make a plan yet. But the least we can do as their friend and being supportive and not judging them is offer them help. Okay? So offer help, extend your hand, I'll do, if you need me to make some phone calls, if you need me to check around some places, I'll do that for you. And just let them know, give them some type of assurance. It's already they're feeling bad enough as it is. So if they feel like they have somebody on their side, that's going to help them out a little bit more and take away some of their stress. Okay? So do offer help if needed and if you can. And then the one last thing I want to talk about not to do is don't try to talk to your abuser. Do not try to talk to the victim's abuser. Because what's going to happen is after you go do that and you go home, they're going to go in the room to the victim and they're going to beat them for, first of all, telling you their business. Second of all, for having you come up in their face and trying to tell them what they should or shouldn't do in their house and in their relationship. So never try to talk to the abuser. That's not your job. That's a job for the police or somebody of that nature, a counselor or something like that. But never, if you're just a friend of the victim, you're the girlfriend, next door neighbor, don't you go over to her house and try to talk to her husband about abusing her. That's only going to make him mad, and then she's only going to get an extra beating or some type of punishment because you went over there and now he knows she's telling you stuff. See, now that has broken a confidence between him and her. And he's not happy about that at all. So please don't go to your victim's abuser and try to talk to them and try to tell them why they shouldn't do this and what's not right and what's wrong. Please don't do that, because you're only going to get somebody hurt and in more trouble, okay? So these was just 8 things tonight I wanted to share with you. Starting my videos back up of some do's and don'ts of domestic violence. And I'll repeat them once again. Do validate and listen to a victim. Don't tell them what you would do. Don't judge them or blame them. Do tell them that their safety is important. Do support their decisions, whether you agree with it or not. Don't give personal advice. Do offer help if needed. And don't try to talk to the abuser. So those are 8 tips that I wanted to share with you tonight regarding domestic violence. This is Evangelist Patricia with Pure Heart Ministries, Evenings with Evangelists. And I want to thank you for joining in and listening. If you have any comments, please leave a comment below. If you have any questions, please leave a question under the post and I will get back to you as soon as I can. As always, I thank you. Keep a pure heart. And until next time, be blessed.